Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধা, গিরিধারী শ্রী রাধে, জয় জগন্নাথ, জয় জগন্নাথ, জয় বলদেব, জয় সুভদ্রা, জয় গৌরনিতাই, 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 জয় গৌরনিতাই, জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ, 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ, নিতাই গৌর হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, নিতাই গৌর হরি বল। হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভুজি, দণ্ডবাদ প্রণাম।
Hare Krishna, Madhav. Thank you. Hare
Krishna Prabhuji, we are now reading from Prabhupada Lilamrita, and after that you can start once it is.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
I'm sharing the screen first. We are reading from Prabhupada Lilamrita, chapter 30, London, a Dream Fulfilled. As they returned by the main house, John Lennon stood gazing through the grass roots, watching Prabhupada walking with a cane, dressed in his black coat and his Wellingtons. Looked like the gentleman of an estate out of his morning walk. Stopping now and then, he would look at certain trees, touching their bark, rubbing their leaves, inspecting them closely. At the beginning of the walk, a devotee picked a rose and handed it to him, and he still held it in his hand with care. He had walked for an hour. Everywhere the scenery had been beautiful, and everywhere he had instructed his followers in Krishna consciousness. As Prabhupada approached the building where he lived, he met little Saraswati. Taking her hand, he walked along with her to the foot of the stairs where they stopped. Prabhupada was halfway up the stairs when he returned and saw Saraswati standing in the doorway, watching. He beckoned and called to her, "Come on." She crawled up the stairs after him. When Saraswati came to Prabhupada's room, he asked her, "So, are you old enough to go to Gurukula?" "No," she said, shaking her head. "Come here, I am going to put a stamp on your forehead, and then we are going to put you in a red mailbox and send you to Gurukula." Hare Krishna, I'm finishing here.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chaksurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 5, chapter. I'll just try to share the screen. Okay, so this is the verse. It is Canto 5, chapter 5, verses 21 and 22. 21 and 22. So, chapter Lord Rishabdev's teachings. Before that, we'll just say the prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sabhutesu Virudbhya Udutamaye Saris Pris Saris Sripasteshu Subhodhanishta Tato Manushya Pramatastatophi Gandharva Siddha Vibudhanuga Ye Deva Surebhyo Magavat Pradhana Dakshadayo Brahma Sutasti Utesham Bhava Prahasotam Virincha Viryaha Samatparoham Dvijadeva Devaha Bhutesu Virudbhya Udutamaye Saris Sripastesu Subhodhanishta Tato Manushyaha Pramatastatopi Gandharva Siddha Vibudhanugaye Deva Surebhyo Magavat Pradhana Dakshadayo Brahma Sutastu Tesham Bhavaparas Sot Virancha Viryaha Samat Paroham Dvijadeva Devaha Bhutesu Virudbhya Uduttamaye Sari Sri Pasteshu Subhodhanishtaha Tato Manushyaha Pramatastatopi Gandharva Siddha Vibudhanugaye Deva Surebhyo Magavat Pradhana Dakshadayo Brahma Sutastu Tesham Bhavaparasota Virancha Viryaha Samat Paroham Dvijadeva Devaha Bhuteshu Virudbhya Uduttamaye Sari Sripasteshu Subhodhanishtaha Tato Manushyaha Pramatastatopi Gandharva Siddha Vibudhanugaye Devasurebhyo Magavat Pradhana Dakshadayo Brahma Sutastu Tesham Bhavaparasota Virancha Virya Samatparoham Dvijadeva Devaha. So, devotees, you can recite this verse. Hare Krishna. You can take turns.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, I must try.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Guru.
भूतेषु विरुद्धोरुत्तमाये उदुत्तमाये श्रीपास्तेषु शबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्यः प्रमुथास्ततोऽपि गन्धर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये देवासुरेभ्यो मगवत्प्रधाना दक्षादयो ब्रह्मसुतास्तु तेषां भवः परः सोऽथ्यो विरिञ्च वीर्य समत्परोऽहं द्विजदेव देवः हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভুজি।
Hare Krishna, Madhav.
ভূতেষু বিরুদ্ধ উদুত্তমায়ে সরীসৃপাস্তেষু সবোধনিষ্ঠাः তত মনুষ্যা প্রমথাস্ততোপি গন্ধর্বসিদ্ধা বিবুধানুগায়ে দেবাসুরেভ্যো মগবৎপ্রধানা দক্ষাদयो ব্রহ্মসুতাস্তু তেষাं ভবঃ পরশোऽথ বিরিঞ্চ বীর্যः সমৎপরোহম দ্বিজ দেব দেব। হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভুজি।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that was the now. May I start, please?
Yes, please, Mataji. Yeah.
Ute viruddhya uttamaye sarishvipasateshu shabbodhanishtaha tato manushyah pramathastathopi gandharva siddha vibuddhanugaye देवासुरेभ्यो भगवत प्रधाना दक्षादयो ब्रह्म सुतस्तु तेषां भावः परः स्वथा विरिञ्च वीर्यः समत्परो अहं द्विज देव देवः. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I try to?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. भूतेषु विरुद्धभये उदुत्तमाये सरीसृपास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्यः प्रमथास्ततोऽपि गन्धर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगा ये देवासुरेभ्यो मघवत्प्रधाना दक्षादयो ब्रह्मसुतास्तु तेषां भवः परः सो अथ विरिञ्च वीर्यः सा मत्परो अहं द्विज देव देवः. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु, थैंक यू सो मच. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So someone can read the synonyms. Someone can read the word by word
হরে কৃষ্ণ
meaning.
প্রভুজি।
Yes, Mataji, please. Yeah.
Bhuteshu, among things generated with and without symptoms of life. Virudbhya, than the plants. Uduttama, for superior, ye, those who. Sorishripaha, moving entities like worms and snakes. Teshu, of them. Sha, bodha nishtaha, those who have developed intelligence. Tata, then them. Manusha, the human beings. Promotha, the ghostly spirits, Tata Opi, better than them. Gandharva, the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka, appointed singers in the planets of the demigods. Siddha, the inhabitants of Siddha Loka, who have all mystic powers. Vibhuda Anuga, the Kinnaras. Ye, those who, Deva, the demigods, Osurebhyo, than the Osuras, Meghavat Pradhana, headed by Indra, Daksha Adaya, beginning with Daksha, Brahma Shuta, the direct sons of Brahma, to then, Tesham of them, Bhava, Lord Shiva, Para, the best, Sha, he, Lord Shiva. Atha, moreover, Virincha Virya, producing from Lord Brahma, Sha, he, Brahma, Matpara, my devotee, Aham, I, Dvija Deva Devaha, a worshipper of the Brahmanas or the Lord of the Brahmanas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so someone can read the translation. No?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare.
Three energies manifest, split and dull matter, being possessing living force. Vegetables, grass, trees, and plants are superior to dull matter, stone, earth, etc. Superior to non-moving plants and vegetables are worms and snakes, which can move. Superior to worms and snakes are animals that have developed intelligence. Superior to animals are human beings, and superior to human beings are ghosts because they have no material bodies. Superior to ghosts are the Gandharvas, and superior to them are the Siddhas. Superior to Siddhas are the Kinnars, and superior to them are the Asuras. Superior to the Asuras are the demigods, and of the demigods, Indra, the king of heaven, is supreme. Superior to Indra are the direct sons of Lord Brahma, sons like King Daksh, and supreme among Brahman sons is Lord Shiva. Since Lord Shiva is the son of Lord Brahma, Brahma considered superior. But Brahma is also subordinate to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I am inclined to the Brahmanas are best of all. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And so we can, maybe one paragraph, so someone can start with one paragraph and then someone can read the next one. We've got a couple of them, quite a long purport. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So someone can start with the first paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am just reading. In
Yes,
this
Prabhuji.
verse, the Brahmanas are given a position superior to that of the Supreme Lord. The idea is that the government should be conducted under the guidance of the Brahmanas. Although Rishabdev recommended his eldest son, Bharata, as the emperor of the earth, he still had to follow the instructions of the Brahmanas in order to govern the world perfectly. The Lord is worshipped as Brahmana Deva. The Lord is very fond of devotees or Brahmanas. This does not refer to so-called caste Brahmanas, but to qualified Brahmanas. A Brahmana should be qualified with 8 qualities mentioned in text 24, such as Shama, Dhamma, Satya, and Titiksha. The Brahmanas should always be worshipped, and under their guidance, the ruler should discharge his duty and the rule of citizens. Unfortunately, in this age of Kali, the executive is not selected by very intelligent people, nor is he guided by the qualified Brahmanas. Consequently, chaos results. The mass of people should be educated in Krishna consciousness so that according to the democratic process, they can select a first-class devotee like Bharat Maharaj to head the government. If the head of the state is headed by qualified Brahmanas, everything is completely perfect. Hare Krishna.
Yes, someone else can continue.
In this verse, the evolutionary process is indirectly mentioned. The modern theory that life evolves from matter is to some extent supported in this verse because it is stated Bhuteshu Viruddhya. That is, the living entities evolve from vegetables, grass, plants, and trees, which are superior to dull matter. In other words, matter also has the potency to manifest living entities in the form of vegetables. In this sense, life comes out of matter, but matter also comes out of life. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Prabhatate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. There are two energies, material and spiritual, and both originally comes from Krishna. Krishna is the supreme living being. Although it that may it may be said that in the material world a living force is generated from matter. It must be admitted that originally matter is generated from the supreme living being. Nitya Nityam Chetsam Chetnam Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. The conclusion is that everything, both material and spiritual, is generated from the Supreme Being. From the evolutionary point of view, perfection is reached when the living entities attain the platform of a Brahmana. A Brahmana is a worshipper of the Supreme Brahman, and the Supreme Brahman worship the Brahmana. In other words, the devotee is subordinate to the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is inclined to see the satisfaction of his devotee. A Brahmana is called Devij Deva, and the Lord is called Devij Deva Deva Deva. He is the Lord of Brahmana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, someone else can continue.
The evolutionary process is also explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhav chapter 19, wherein it is said that there are two types of living entities, moving and non-moving. Among moving entities, there are birds, beasts, aquatics, human beings, and so on. Of these, the human beings are supposed to be the best, but they are few. Of these small numbers of human beings, there are many low-class human beings like Mlecchas, Pulindas, Buddhas, and Savaras. The human being elevated enough to accept the Vedic principles is superior. Among those who accept the Vedic principles, generally known as Varnashrama, presently known as the Hindu system, few actually follow these principles. Of those who actually follow the Vedic principles, most perform fruitive activity or pious activity for elevation to a high position. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Out of many attached to fruitive activity, one may be a Gyani, that is, one philosophically inclined and superior to the karmis. Yatatam opi siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. Out of many Gyanis, one may be liberated from material bondage, and out of many millions of liberated Gyanis, one may become a devotee of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Radha Govinda Goswami Niti Namani. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschata Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all the devotees. So this is a very long, actually there are two verses, and of course Prabhupada is giving a long purport to discuss about the Brahmanas. So in the verse before this, we know that Lord Rishabdev, Lord Rishabdev is giving instructions to his own sons. So we don't see this kind of instructions nowadays, actually. Nowadays, if a father gives instructions to his sons or his children, what kind of instructions will he give? Will he give this kind of instructions?
All the instructions will be for material gain.
Yes, everything will be for material things. How you can um, go to a good school or go to a good university, how you can get the best education, how you can get the best job, or how you can get the best kind of sense enjoyment in which country you study, work hard, and enjoy. So someone was telling me recently that they went to a wedding in Japan. So some father was giving a speech on her daughter's wedding. So there was, of course, a translator. Someone was translating the speech, which was given in Japanese. And the father was saying, my only goal, why I work hard and why I am earning a lot of money is because I just want to get a lot of money so that I can drink and sing karaoke. You know what karaoke is? Karaoke. Is karaoke? Is it called karaoke or
Karaoke, yeah, yes. Prabhuji.
karaoke? So there is some you choose the song and then you sing, and this music and everything will be there, and you just sing with that sing along thing. So a lot of people have many different goals because they don't actually know the real goal, because they have not been taught. Either they have not been taught, or because of bad association, they have different kinds of goals. So here, the father himself, Lord Rishabdev, who is not an ordinary person, we know that he's mentioned as an incarnation of the Lord. So Lord Rishabdev is giving instructions to how many sons?
100?
100 of them. All the sons are listening very, very submissively, very attentively. They are listening to the instructions of the father. No one is complaining, why should I, this is a modern world, we should live in a different way. Why are you giving all these kind of instructions to us? Let us all enjoy the kingdom. So they're not saying like that. All of them are taking the instructions very, very seriously and very attentively, very submissively hearing from the father. So Lord Rishabdev is instructing 100 sons, and we know that this chapter is on instructions of Lord Rishabdev. And all the 100 sons are listening to the father. And the verse before this, the verse number, this is 21. Is it 21? So the verse before this, which is number 20, what did Lord Rishabdev say to the sons? In the verse before this. The verse before this, he says that, that you should all follow whom?
Bharat.
Your elder
Bharat.
brother, Bharat.
Yeah, you should all follow the elder brother Bharat. So Bharat was the oldest of the 100. So the father is saying to them that all of you should follow Bharat. And if you save Bharat, then you are actually saving me.
Me.
Yeah. But we know that Bharat is going to become the king, and he became the king later on. So Bharat is going to become the king. So are the kings independent?
No, Prabhuji, they follow the advice of the Brahmanas.
Yes, correct. They follow the Brahmanas. The kings are always following the Brahmanas, qualified Brahmanas. We see that in the case of King Ven. So when king was, when there was no king, then Vena was made the king. But Vena's fall down was because of what? Why did he lose his life?
He was involved in irreligious activities, Prabhuji, and considered himself as the superior than the Brahmanas.
Yes, he did not follow the Brahmanas. And that's why he lost his life. He lost his position as the king of force. He died. And the Brahmanas are always more powerful than the Kshatriyas. The Brahmanas are there, they guide the Kshatriyas, because can there be a body without a head? So there has to be a head. Which is the most important part of the body?
The
The
head.
head.
They had.
The Brahmanas are like the head. The Brahmanas are the ones who give the instructions, how the kingdom is to be ruled. And so always the kings would get advice from the Brahmanas. We see that even Lord Ramachandra was guided by Brahmanas, like Vasisji was guiding him. So even Lord, Dashrath, whenever there was anything to discuss, any issues in the kingdom, or even when he desired to have a son, what did he do? He consulted
Vasisht Muni.
Vasisht Muni. He consulted Vasisht Muni. We see also Yudhishthir, the Pandavas, Yudhishthir and other Pandavas, when they were living in the forest, they also needed guidance. So where did they get the guidance from?
From the Brahmanas,
The Brahmanas. That is why they wanted to have they wanted to have supply or feed the Brahmanas, and that's why they had the Akshay Patra, so that they can be properly guided. The Brahmanas could guide them according to the Shastras. So Brahmanas are very, very important, and we know that there were so many Brahmanas who were guiding them in the forest, and Dhaumya Rishi was one of them. And they would ask anything they did, they asked the Brahmanas. So now Lord Rishabdev is saying, okay, yes, you should follow the oldest brother, but the oldest brother and all of you, we should not forget that who is the greatest? Well, who is the best? The Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are the best amongst all the living entities. The Brahmanas. We'll see the different hierarchy is given here, starting from, you see, given like some those things which don't have life, no living force, like we have tables, chairs, and cars and houses, all these things. They are there, but they are considered to be lower than the ones which have life. So greater than them are the plants, trees, and all these things. They are greater. It's such a big way, so you can just try to just get the essence of it. So then it's the next level up is the plants, because the plants have what?
Fixed.
Hmm?
Yeah.
They have what? Yes, they have got actually
They
in
cannot,
the
Hare Krishna, but they cannot move. They are fixed at one place.
yeah. So they're Hare Krishna. Thank you. They cannot move. They're always at one place. That's correct. Yeah, they're immovable. So, but they still have life. So that's greater. They're more greater than those which do not have life, or those who do not have living force. So living things and non-living things, which is better?
living things.
Living things are better than non-living things. It is on the that's what here it's mentioned. So the verse it's mentioned that two types of energies manifest: spiritual and dull matter. So those which have living force is better than dull matter, right? Those which have living force is better than dull matter. Of course, nowadays, um, you know, things are, those material things are taken more care of than the people. Isn't it true? People give more importance to their car, their house, and their cell phone than people. But we know that living things are superior to the dull matter. And then the next is like living, of course, the plants, vegetables, grass. But the only problem is the plants, grass. There is one problem, and that is they are
Immovable.
sthavar or jangam.
Jangam.
Yeah, they are jangam. They are at one place. They cannot move. They cannot move from one place to another. They are always fixed at one place. So because they cannot move, the moving ones are superior to the non-moving. Jangam is superior to the sthavar. That means those which can move. So we have one is the dull matter, and then the other one is that which has got living force. So living force better than one with living force is better than the dull matter. And then the ones that can move are better than those which cannot move. So we're starting with the lowest category like snakes and worms. But we know that like if you keep a tree at one place, then the tree will be there forever. But they cannot even protect themselves. Let's say there's a fire. Do you think the tree can move from the place where it is to another place?
No, can't.
No, they can't. So they have the gross body, but the gross body actually is very restrictive. It cannot take them to another place for protection. They can't even protect themselves. People, if just they want to cut the tree, they can come and cut the tree. But then the snakes and worms, they can move, but how much can they move? You know, if there is some the snake or worm, they has to move. Sometimes we see the worms, these earthworms are lying on the ground because there's so much heat and they can't move, and they actually die, or sometimes they're crushed. So they are superior to the non-moving like plants, but they're not as they don't have they're not get classified as better than those which have more intelligence, which can move. And we can see, like, for example, dogs, cats, and birds. They can they can protect themselves better. They can move around. Isn't it true?
Yes, Prabhu.
So they are more superior. We see that there are like I had a neighbor who had so many pigeons, kabutar, and he would take those. He had more than 60 of them. He would take those kabutars, or the pigeons. He would take them far away. From Dunedin, he would take them sometimes to Belcluta, which is quite far away, and sometimes he would take them to Omuru in a cage. He will drive them in big, he will take them and release all those pigeons, and then all of them will be back at the end of the day. In the morning, he will go and leave them there, release them, and then all of them will be back at home by the end of the day without any GPS, without any guidance. And they are not actually taken. It's not that they are, guided and taken to a place. No, they're taken in a cage and then they come back. These are called, they're trained, and they're called racing pigeons. And they're very, very quickly they'll arrive. And so there are so many other, like dogs have got. We see that in the immigration, when you go through the customs, are the humans used there for smelling the bags and other things? And can they do? Are the humans, do they have that kind of noses to actually smell? But dogs have got that power to smell, and they would know. They are trained to recognize the smell of drugs and plants and food and other things. So they will know. So they have got better intelligence. The dogs are very, very good at understanding your. Even there, sometimes a lot of people keep dogs because they think the dogs are very good. They understand them, and when they're not very happy, the dogs actually understand the nature of the owner, or if the owner is not feeling good. They understand. Even the cows. So these are better than the snakes and the worms. So we have dull matter, and then the next one is the moving and non-moving. So the plants, so non-moving, which is plants, and then moving, which is the snakes and the worms and those in that category. And then the next is other animals like the dogs, the cats, the lion, the tiger. They can protect themselves. They can quickly move from one place to the other. They've got more freedom. And then the next one comes humans, right? So humans come next, and then we have who's more advanced than the humans in that hierarchy. Yes, what's mentioned
Ghosts,
next?
Prabhu, they said ghosts in the translation.
Yeah,
Ghosts.
ghosts are more greater than the humans. How can the ghosts be greater than the humans? Why? Why are they coming?
They
Hmm?
possess a human.
Yes, Mataji?
They possess them.
Yeah, they can control the humans. Yes, sometimes they can take control over the humans. Yes, they have, because they are,
They don't have bodies, material
yes,
bodies.
they don't have gross body. Because they don't have gross, so then we are going from gross to subtle, to more subtle, gross to more subtle. So they have a subtle body. Ghosts don't have the gross body. So that gives them more freedom to move around any place they can go. And they can, if you have a gross body, you if you go on to enter, let's say human being wants to enter someone's house, enter into someone's house, then you have to enter through the door or through the windows, some place, you have to. But the ghost can enter without any, they can go anywhere and everywhere because they don't have a gross body, which can, because of the gross body there can be limitations, but without gross body, if you have a subtle body, you can have more freedom to move around, of course, but that's not the best body to have. But that's greater than, in the sense that there are more restrictions in the human body. So then it's the ghost body, and then it is what the next one is, getting more
Gandharvas.
Gandharvas, which are you going up the higher planets, which is you're going to the Gandharvas, which are Gandharvas are those who are very good at singing, and then the next one is the Siddhas. Siddhas are those who are not actually um, in the Swargalok, but they are very, very much devatas, but not as great as the Varun or Lord Varun or Lord Indra and others, Vayu Dev or Surya Dev or Chandra Dev. So they are the ones who are singers, Gandharvas, but they have got subtle body. So because of that, they are greater, right? And then the next, there's more. Siddhas have got more powers. They've got mystic powers. Therefore, Siddhas are more and higher in the hierarchy. And then the Gandharvas, and then after that it is the Kinnaras. Kinnaras are also, they are like Kinnaraha. This means are they Naraha? They look like humans, but they are not actually. Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, and these are very much like humans, but they are not actually humans. So they live in higher planets because they have got more powers. And then after that it is the Devatas, isn't it true?
No, Asuras probably.
Oh, Asuras, yes, Asuras, of course, Asuras can have so much powers. We know that Putana, could change her form, and we can see Ravan, he had so many powers and all this. So that makes them, higher in the hierarchy, and then goes up to the Devatas, all the Devatas. And then of all the Devatas, who's the greatest of the Devatas?
Lord Indra.
Lord Indra. So Lord Indra is better. So when compared to the Asuras, Devatas are better. Devatas can also change the form. We see Lord Indra changing his form all the time, you know. When he's stealing the horse, it takes different forms. And also we can see that when he went to Ahilya, he changed the form of Gautam Rishi. So they can change form, and they have a lot of powers. They can go from one place to the other. Movement is not that restricted. So, and he's got Airawat, and he's got, and so, and they have got they're more powerful than the Asuras. And after that it comes to the sons of going up from the Swargalok to the topmost, which is Brahmalok. In Brahmalok, the sons of Brahmana, Brahma, all the Prajapatis, Daksha and others, the sons of Brahma, and then Lord Shiva is included there. And out of all of them, who is the best?
Brahma Puri.
No, Lord Shiva.
Lord
All the
Shiva.
sons.
Yeah.
All the sons, Lord Shiva is the greatest, and then greater than Lord Shiva, in the sense that not looking at not that Brahma is a living entity, and Lord Shiva is not. Lord Shiva is in between. No, we're not looking at that, but we're just looking at the sons in here, and Brahma is greater because he's the one from whom Lord Shiva actually comes, like from between the two eyebrows. And so Lord Brahma, and then and it's mentioned that after Brahma comes
Brahmanas.
the Lord himself, right? Isn't it true? He says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no? So Brahma is considered superior, but Brahma is also subordinate to me. So Brahma is subordinate to the Lord, but Lord is subordinate to
The Brahmanas, his devotees.
the Brahmanas. And therefore the Brahmanas are the
Best.
best. So now you can see that the humans, if you look at the hierarchy given, humans come in number 5. Like you have the pest, you have the dull matter, and then you have the trees, and then plants or whatever. It's number 2. And then comes number 3, which is the snakes and worms and those in that category. And then you have the
Animals.
other animals with more developed intelligence. And then comes humans, which is the 5th one. Isn't it true?
Yes.
Human. But are the Brahmanas not humans?
They are humans.
So humans can be. So if you are just like, if you are just a human being with no understanding of the scriptures, you don't have the good qualifications, good qualities. If you are in Rajogun, Tamogun, then you are in a lower, you are a lower class of human, lower in that hierarchy. But then you can elevate yourself, not based on the birth. Is it based on the birth, the Brahmanas you mentioned?
No.
No, Prabhupada makes it very clear. The same Brahmanas, same human being can bring himself up to the level, topmost level. Isn't it true?
Yes.
That becomes, Lord is saying that they are greater than even me. So this is what, and later on we see that if you, this is because this is 21, 22 talking about the different, the hierarchy of the living entities, living beings. Later on, this, because this 21, 22 is giving the hierarchy and giving the supremacy of the Brahmanas over all the other living, other types of bodies. And then you have other parts, other verses, which I think we'll hear from other devotees from tomorrow onwards. Till number 25, if you look at the verses, then number 25, we will be talking about, and the Lord will say which kind of Brahmanas are the best. Because Brahmanas also, there are some categories. There are some Brahmanas who may not have much knowledge, but they may be. So it's the Brahmanas that our Lord is mentioning, the topmost Brahmanas are the Brahmanas who are akinchananam mai bhakti bhajam. If you look at the verse number 25, what is the meaning of akinchananam? Akinchanana means they do not have any
Material desire.
material desires. They do not have any material desires. We see, even we recently we were looking at the we were reading from Katha from Ramayana. We can see the Brahmanas did not desire to have anything. Did they want to have anything? All the yajna they performed for Dashrath,
No.
were they interested in any material comforts or did they have any material desires? Even
No.
we see the Brahmanas following Yudhishthir and the Pandavas to the forest. There are no material desires. They just want to, talk about the Lord, speak about the Lord, and they're not desiring some material comfort. So, and bhakti bhaja means those who are engaged in devotional service. Such Brahmanas actually are called, what kind of Brahmanas are those? Those who are devotees, the best Brahmanas. What kind of Brahmanas are they?
Vaishnavas too.
Yeah, Vaishnava Brahmanas, or Brahmana Vaishnavas, or Vaishnava Brahmanas. They are devotees. So devotees are automatically Brahmanas. Just we need to understand. Like for the Lord, the devotee Brahmanas are most dear to the Lord. How we can understand that is in the pastimes of Ambarish Maharaj. Like Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was the topmost Brahmana, isn't it true?
Yes.
He was a Brahmana, and he was also a sannyasi. He was a Brahmana, and Ambarish Maharaj was a Kshatriya, and Durvasa Muni was a sannyasi. Ambarish Maharaj was
Kshatriya.
he was a grihastha. Isn't it true? One was a sannyasi, and the other one was a grihastha. One was a um, Brahmana, one was a Kshatriya. So, but we see that the Lord, when Durvasa Muni actually offended and he wanted to kill Ambarish Maharaj, we can see Lord protected whom?
Amrish Maharaj.
Ambarish
Devotee.
Maharaj, because he was a devotee. He was actually, although he had a Kshatriya body, but he was a Vaishnava. He was a devotee, and he was more than a Brahmana. And such Brahmanas are called Vaishnava Brahmanas. So devotees are automatically Brahmanas, and Lord gives protection to the devotee. We see Ravan. Ravan, is he a Brahmana? Like if you take a birth, for example, by birth, like his father he's the son of Vishrava. Vishrava is the son of Pulastya. Pulastya is the son of Brahma. So he is coming in the family of Brahmanas, isn't it true?
Yes.
But what did Lord Ramachandra do? What did Lord Ramachandra killed him? Isn't it true?
Yes.
Because he was born in a family of Brahman, but he was actually not a Brahmana because he did not follow the principles of Brahmanism. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is more further classifications of Brahmanas given. If you look at the third canto, Kapil Bhagwan speaking, it talks about the different kinds of Brahmanas. The human, if you look at the verse number 32 from third canto, chapter 29, it says that, so there is the Brahmanas who only, who are just following simple rules and regulations, but they're not very knowledgeable in the scriptures. If they're not that knowledgeable in the scriptures, then they're lower in the hierarchy. They're lower Brahmanas. And then there are Brahmanas who know the real, those who study the scriptures, they are greater. And those who know the real essence or the real purport of studying the scriptures, because Vedascha sarvai rahameva Vedya. What is the purpose of reading Vedas? To understand the Lord. So such Brahmanas are greater, and those people who remove the doubts are able to remove the doubts, they are better. Those people who have good acharan, the good character, they are better. So the classification is given, and the best of those are those who actually are pure devotees. That's in the same verse is mentioned. So the Brahmanas, the best kind of Brahmana is a Brahmana who is a pure devotee of the Lord. And such Brahmanas have Lord under their control. And therefore they are the greatest. Isn't it true? Lord Krishna also shows in the Damodar Lila, it says that Evam Samdarshita Hyanga Harina Brityavatsata. What is Lord showing in this Lila? That Lord Hari is Harina Brityavatsata. That Lord who has everyone under his control is controlled by the love of his
Devotees.
devotee. So who's greater in that sense? The devotee or the Lord?
Devotees.
The Lord is devotee is greater because the devotee is able to control the Lord. But not just because of their intelligence or because of their strength or because of some qualities they have, but because they have the devotion. And because they have the devotion to the Lord Lord is under their control. Hare Krishna. Thank you. We don't have that much of time, so we just have to conclude, and maybe in other devotees will be able to address the questions of the if devotees have, because it's 8:30 now, so we have to conclude. But thank you so much, all the devotees, for joining us this morning. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunitaya Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Madhav Govind Prabhu ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandot Pranam.
कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की
वृंद की
जय।
जय।
Jai. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam. Hare
Krishna
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dhamma Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Could have gone out few more minutes anyway. It's such a big verse, a lot of things to discuss, but anyway.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, it's just a long way.
I was going to ask you about this. In the later part of the Prabhupada mentioned that living entities are coming from matter, and there seems a bit of a contradiction. So
I can ask us the next, tomorrow's, you can make that part of the question. Or the next time when we discuss. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I think most of the devotees have left already. Hari Bol.
Yeah,
Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
जय।
yeah.